Okay, I think everything is working. Okay, I think everything is working. Just setting everything up, checking the volumes and getting ready for our flight. So this evening we are going to carry on with the Round the World Escapade, leg number 19 this evening. And if I just pull up a map to show you the basic idea of where we're going to be going, we're going to be flying from Janakpur in Nepal. We're going to fly over to Tumbling Tar in the mountains, back down to Chandragadhi, and then over to Paro, which is in Bhutan, and then down to Galifu. So it should be fairly interesting scenery along the way. I'm going to pop open Say Intentions. We're running Say Intentions in the background. I'm just going to go and make sure what we've got going on in terms of the intercom. So we've got the mentor, we've got the tour guide in the cockpit with us. That's good. Okay, so we're going to be flying VFR. So there's not going to be a lot of chatter unless we go and go to flight following along the way. So I'm going to be using a checklist to start the airplane up of my own design. So you can get a copy of it. There's a link in the notes of the video. So you can grab a copy of the same checklist I'm going to work through. And it goes through lots of things like how to set up views in the simulator and so on and so forth, which you kind of do need for the Starship to make your life easy. So it goes through pre-flight and, how to get the engine started, how to get all the avionics set up and everything else. Goes in quite some detail to kind of, just walk you through a sensible process to do everything. So I'll be following that. As I said, there's a link to get a copy of it if you do want it. So it's probably worth just saying before we get started, if you go to johnbeckett.substack.com on the internet, or even if you go to johnbeckett.online, you will see a lovely new website that I put together recently that tells you all about me and what I do. It's got a link to, obviously, the YouTube channel, the newsletter, the Substack newsletter, which I've just shown you, and the Ko-fi shop where you can go and get all of the procedures. So to see the procedures, if you go in here, so this is on the blog, you can go at the top, it says procedures and guides, and it lists all of the planes that I've written procedures for across both 2024 and 2020 and X-Plane. So there's quite a few of them now. I've been busy. Anyway, so we're going to go and fly the Starship today across the top of Nepal the lower half of Nepal, I should say, and into Bhutan. So let's go and jump inside the airplane, and I'm going to start working through the checklist with you. So just before we get going, I'm just going to check my views are correct, which is good. So Alt 3 brings us to the quadrant. We're going to make sure the propeller levers are max or forward. So I've got that mapped to some controls along with the controls there as well. The condition levers need to be cut off or back. That's good. Then press Alt and 1. Another custom view shows us the first or the front half of the central pedestal. The master switch for the battery must be on. So we're going to have a quick look around this to see where everything is. So you've got the major switches around here. You've got the avionics, so the battery switches are under here, look. So turn the batteries on. You've got the generators underneath here as well. So I'm just reminding myself I haven't seen the Starship for quite some time, so I may be hunting around as we go looking around. So the standby in section is just over here. So gyro goes on. And then the integrated avionics section below the master switch is down here. We need to go and turn the ICAS switch on. Then overhead, go Shift and 9, and then we can turn the external nav lights on. It won't light up just yet. And then we can go for right engine start, so Alt and 1. Actually, before we do that, have we got a tablet in this aeroplane to go and set the fuel up? So let's have a look. There's lots of options in the aeroplane to do all sorts of things. So we're going to look in payload. We've got quite a lot of fuel, haven't we? That's going to be plenty for what we're going to need today. Okay, we'll leave that alone then. So I presume if we click down here, we can put the tablet back away. That's all fine. Oh, this aeroplane might remember its state, and if I've been testing things, I might have damaged the engine in the past, so we'll go and check that. So battery's 90%, engine condition 98, we'll repair it anyway. Are you sure? Yes. Right engine's 99. They have got wear and tear over time in this aeroplane, so as long as you behave yourself with it, you can make the engine last for a very, very long time. We'll just pop the yoke off there while we're doing things. Right engine start. What do we need to do? So Alt-1 will take us to the pedestal. We're going to go to the ignition and engine start section, which is here. We're going to advance the right switch to forwards. Then we're going to go and look. I'm going to press Shift and Space to do this. I'm going to look at the screen up here, and you will see N1 is coming up. Wait for it to go beyond 12%, and then we can advance the right condition lever to the start setting. Like so. Keep an eye on all the needles and gauges. We can get rid of these warnings. Okay, so when it goes past 50%, which it has done, we can push this forwards to run. And actually we can leave it in the middle for the moment. Let's just leave that there for the moment. So the ignition can go back off again once it's past 50%. Yeah, so that's common with lots of other airplanes. We'll leave it on start for the moment. Okay, so that's one engine started. Having done that, we can go and turn the right generator on, so we can be using that engine to generate some power. So we can reset it and put it back to on. That's fine. And then left engine is pretty much the same deal. So left starter goes on. You'll see N1 climb. When it gets past 12%, we can bring the fuel in with the fuel condition lever. So we just wait for this. The fuel in, fuel ignites, torque jumps, propeller speed increases, and then it all relaxes back down again. So then left gen can go on as well. Once it's past 50%, which it is, we can take the starter off. And then we can advance the levers to run as well. We could have done that earlier. So anyway, having done that, integrated avionics section, pilot and co-pilot go to on. Then shift and 7. The bleed air valves go to both. The temp mode goes to auto. And then shift and 5 takes us over to the switch panel in front of the pilot. The anti-skid goes to on or up. So that is, I'm just looking around for it. Oh, it's over here. It's hidden. I can always forget that that's hidden behind that switch. Shift and 1 will then bring us over to the instruments. So on this CDU, as they call it, I'm going to press Shift and Space to do this and then zoom back in on it. So we're going to go and select Initialize System. Then we're going to say Update Database. And then now there is a disk drive somehow, and I can't remember how this works. Is it behind us? Yes, down here, look. So you can put the disk in, and it will whir for a while. I'm not sure if this updates immediately, or if you have to wait for some time. Let's try that again. Update database. Oh, here we go. It's reading the disk. I don't think I've got any specific notes on this. Flight data. Nat or nan. I have no idea what the difference is. We'll just say the first one. let me just get rid of this. I've got an advert showing up at the top of my chat screen. Okay, and then we can continue, and we can say all data is okay. And then we can go, there should be a message annunciation will show, and that's good. So press the message button, which is down here somewhere. There it is. Then we can update VLF. And then we are update VLF from FMS. And we're pretty much good to go at this point to go and program our route. So we press the flight plan button. This is cool, isn't it, the way it all works? It's been replicated from the real aeroplane. So I'm just trying to remember myself how it works. So we've got buttons for nav and com. So we want I'm just trying to remember, so bear with me for a moment here. Flight plan, there we go. So we need to put in where we're going from and to. So digits for numbers, and then digits followed by letter for buttons, for the letters. So we want to go from, where's our flight plan gone, Simbrief? VNJP. So V will be this one, and then letter once to get V. N will be this one, and then twice to get N. J will be this one, and then once to get J. And then P is this one, and once. VNJP. Enter route or waypoint, enter. Airport, okay, yes. Enter route or waypoint. So we need to just put the next waypoint in. We don't put where we're going to yet, I don't think. So we want to go direct to VNTR. I wonder if this can understand going airfield, 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 airfield. Or if we need to put in the destination immediately. I'll put the destination in. VQGP. So V. Q, G, and P. Enter. Okay, yeah, so let's put the end in. So then can we put in the intermediate waypoints? I'm guessing we'll try it and see what happens. If it doesn't work, we won't worry too much about it. We'll just use other means of navigation. They're all VORs, or they should. Have they all got VORs? That's got VOR, that one hasn't. Okay, we'll figure it out along the way. So if we were going to do this, going VOR to airport to airport, VNTR. Let's see if it will let us. Let's put in VNTR. So V N. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Clear. N T R. Enter. Okay. It's done it. Oh, but it's updated where we're going. Oh, that's not great. Okay, so we're going to just put the destination in. VQGP. This is an odd thing to do that we're doing. So V Q GP. If I get this right one day, oh, I've gone around in circles again. G and then P. I was doing so well. Enter. Okay, so that will update in a moment to go show VQGP. Well, that's what we're hoping. There it goes. Okay, so end the flight plan. Add waypoints. Oh, interesting. Add route, or yeah, it doesn't understand doing a sequential route. Anyway, we'll carry on. So how are we doing? We've done the basics. So configure the HSI, radar and MFD. Using the buttons on the FMC, I'm reading my own instructions here. Use buttons on the FMC to set the HSI, radar and arc map as required. So you can come in here, look. Radar, HSI. Yeah, we'll leave it on the HSI. That's the most useful screen for us. Nav source. So we've got a nav source here, which allows us to go between FMS and VOR. We'll do VORs, it'd be more fun. That's interesting, okay. And preset map soft key on the MFD to display the present position. So that's over here. So we can go present position map and display it. Go and calibrate the altimeters. So we'll press comma. We'll see that move. So overhead, we're going to go and put no smoking on. And seatbelt signs on. Taxi light can go on. And we're going to go line up ready for takeoff. So on the central pedestal, we're going to go auto feather to test and then arm in the middle. So auto feather has to go up to test and then down to arm. Then overhead, we can go and turn the nose lights on. I'll do that once we get to the runway. So let's just go and have a look. Oxygen is not armed. I have not gone and armed the oxygen, and I can't remember where it is. It's going to be... Whoops. I've just got to inflict something by accident there. There's the oxygen system switch. I've done the generators. Have I missed it on the checklist? Yes, I have. Shift and 5. And we've got the oxygen system should be pulled out. Okay, I'm just looking for ECAMs. Yeah, all the messages have gone. We can also go look at the trims. That's all looking... Sorry, the fuel flows. That's all looking good. We've got trim here for pitch. So for takeoff, we can move it into the green area. Okay, so we go and put head tracking on. And then we have got a tower here. So we're at Janakpur at the moment. Let's go and get rid of our old measurements from when we arrived here on the last leg. So if we go over to say intentions and... Oh, I haven't set our identity in say intentions yet. Let's just quickly go do that as well. Burning a load of fuel while we're sat here. Now, I don't think this airplane has a... Yeah, it hasn't got an identity, so I'm going to use my own just for ease of use. So we're going to call signs and say intentions. We're going to call ourselves... have I not got Starship in here already? Okay, we'll make a new one. Starship. Add. And we'll call ourselves... That's interesting, look, I've not used it. So G.J. Beck. Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo. We auto that, and that will give us the what we're known as to air traffic services. Close that out of the way. Minimize that, and we're ready to go. So we're going to go and talk briefly to tower. They haven't got ground here. Ground, Starship, Golf Juliet, Bravo Echo Kilo, requesting departure or taxi to runway.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 09er, taxi via, hold short of runway 27. Expect runway 09er.
Taxi to runway 09er, requesting permission to backtrack.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 09er, backtrack approved.
Backtrack approved, runway 9er, Starship, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, across runway 27.
It's not a runway to cross, that's a bit of an AI mistake. So we're turning right.
On runway 27 remaining, 2,600 feet.
I wonder if I can push the route into this from the tablet. Probably not, because it's such a custom system. So I think we're going to need a lot of runway though, so I'm going to turn ourselves on the apron at the end. Okay, let's just...
On runway 9 remaining.
Before we go any further,
4,000 feet.
I'm just going to try and remember how this works. So we've got altitude pre-selector here. So we want to be cruising at 12,000 later in the flight. I'm just reminding myself how all this stuff works before we get going. So it does have an autopilot. And it's controlled down here. So we've got trims, pitch trim. There's the parking brake, obviously. We have got a GPS. Let's go fire that up while we're waiting. I'm trying to remember how this works. So there's our Parro, there's the interesting, that's the climb rate. So here's the major modes for the autopilot. So you've got heading, vertical speed mode, altitude hold, indicated airspeed mode, flight directors. Okay, that's all fine. And nav mode. Does that mean... Okay, I guess it's going to follow the route on here if you've got it fully programmed. So we'll just be using heading mode probably, and we'll be admiring the scenery as we go along. Tower, Starship, Golf Juliet, Bravo Echo Kilo, requesting takeoff runway 09.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 09er, winds 110 at 3, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 09, copy the weather. Starship, Golf Juliet, Bravo Echo Kilo.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 09er, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Just told us that. Just keeping an eye on the power. We're right into the red there.
On runway 9 remaining, 3,300 feet.
shall we do a bit of an orbit first? Go and have a look at the airfield we're leaving. We didn't use the landing lights, did we? Have I got the strobes on? That's a really good question, actually. I'll have a look in a moment. They're all overhead, aren't they, the switches? There we go. That's the wrong way. Okay, so our first heading of the day is going to be 77 miles, 61 degrees magnetic by the look of it, 62 degrees by the time we get to the other end, but we'll see how we go with this.
Janakpur Tower, Ready Airlines 45902, established on the ILS runway 27.
Approaching runway 9.
Okay, let's have a look at the power and the RPM, build the RPM back down into the green. So, if we the course heading and course 1 heading and course 2 are down here. I'm going to turn the head tracking off for a moment so I can do this accurately. Heading bug. That's got acceleration built into it, which is super not useful.
Established on the ILS runway 27.
So we go heading mode on the autopilot, so that's come up on the primary flight display. We'll go and interesting.
Ready Airlines 45902, winds calm, runway 27, cleared to land.
So AFX, auto feather, we can turn that off now. So then that should make that, oh yeah, there we go. It just takes a second for auto feather to go away. So there's the autopilot engage switches. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't quite remember where they were. And then to control pitch as we climb, we can press this and roll it. And it should start behaving itself, but we have to obviously go and we can either use indicated airspeed mode, which we're doing at the moment. So if we go IAS, does this do the same thing where we can control the speed? Yes. So if we take it out to say 230, it will keep the nose down to get there and then raise the nose again. Let's keep an eye on it. So let's watch the climb rate. And there it goes, look. So it's hit the target and up it's going again. So you can either use vertical speed mode with this one, or you can use indicated airspeed mode on that one. Slowly remembering. Okay, let's go and see if we can put some beacons on to help us out. There's nothing. That's rather frustrating, isn't it? There's no radio.
We're currently near Janakpur, which is famous for the Janaki Mandir, one of the largest and most ornate Hindu temples in Nepal. Built in 1910 by Queen Vrisha Banu of Tikamgarh, the temple is dedicated to Sita, the heroine of the epic Ramayana. who is believed to have been born in this very city. The temple's unique white marble architecture and Mughal-style domes make it a striking sight, especially from above. Pilgrims from all over Nepal and India flock here, particularly during the festival of Viva Panchami, which celebrates the wedding of Sita and Rama.
Starship Bravo, Echo Kilo, you're leaving the Charlie airspace. Remain outside the Charlie. Squawk VFR. Frequency change approved.
Leaving your airspace. Will remain outside the Charlie. Squawk VFR. Frequency change approved. Golf Juliet Bravo, Echo Kilo. Good day. So we can go to CTAF. Although, because we're climbing to altitude, we ought to stay on center. So I'm going to go to center frequency. 126.5. Let's just make sure that has happened. So 1265 on COM 1 has happened. And we'll go talk to center now. To do that, we need to go and change our ATC ID, I think. Yeah, so this is the transponder number. So you would have to change that and then roll this to get the numbers. Center, Starship, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, climbing through 8,000 feet, requesting flight following to Galifu.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, flight following approved to UMM, descend your requested altitude.
Starship Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, we are climbing to 12,000 feet, still requesting flight following.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, flight following is on request. Squawk 2345, deny ident. Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, radar contact 30 northeast of Janakpur at 90200 feet. Janakpur QNH 1016.
QNH 1016, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, thank you. So I think we can switch this one on as well and it will just synchronize. Yeah, it's got the same data. So I did write some notes down. To insert the en route waypoints, press the soft key adjacent to the preceding waypoint. Press the soft key adjacent to insert waypoint after. Okay, so let's go and have a look and see if we can program some extras in. Press the soft key adjacent to a preceding waypoint. Set course. No. Flight plan. That won't let us back out of there now.
Buddha Air 4425, contact Rajbiraj Tower on 122.5.
Clear.
Over to Rajbiraj Tower on 122.5. Buddha Air 4425.
Oh, here we go. We can insert the waypoints this way. Okay. So if we come back out of here,
Since there are no specific landmarks in our immediate vicinity, let me tell you about Lamadanda Airport, which is the closest airstrip to us. Lamadanda Airport is a small but vital gateway in eastern Nepal, serving as a key access point for trekkers heading into the remote Solukhumbu region, home to some of the world's most famous Himalayan peaks. The airport sits at an elevation of about 4,100 feet and is known for its short, sloping runway, which makes landings and takeoffs a real adventure for pilots. It was established to improve connectivity for local communities and to support tourism, especially for those aiming to explore the less traveled paths of the Himalayas. Pilots flying in and out of Lamadanda often say it's one of the more thrilling approaches in Nepal, thanks to the surrounding terrain and unpredictable weather.
Yeti Airlines 6923, contact Janakpur Tower on 122.5.
Over to Janakpur Tower on 122.5, Yeti Airlines 6923.
From VNTR to VQGP. Oh, it has got some of it. So it's only showing 2 at a time. So we are going from VNJP to VNTR. So if we go previous, let's type this in. V N J P.
Buddha Air 3154, contact Rajbiraj Tower on 122.5.
Switching to Rajbiraj
This is reversed,
Tower on
hasn't it?
122.5, Buddha Air 3154.
What if I can reset the course completely? It's got itself really messed up. So if we go into one of these, can we delete? Yeah, let's just delete all the waypoints. So enter the route or the waypoint. So the first one is VNJP. V N J and P. Enter.
Buddha Air 1565, contact Rajbiraj Tower on 122.5.
122.5 for Buddha Air 1565. Good day.
Okay, it's not going to work, is it? Cross-side use, no access. Oh, is it because this thinks it's doing it as well? Enter. Yeah. We've got a couple of minutes. Let's just check we're not going to slam into a hillside while we're doing this. So then, next waypoint, we're just going to put them in order then. VNTR. So that's showing the last one, that's why it took a pause. VNTR. So V N T R. Enter. Okay. And then the next one is VNCG. V.
Yeti Airlines 7351, direct CD27. Cleared for the ILS
NCG.
runway 27 approach. Descend and maintain altitude 2500 feet until established.
Descending to 2500, cleared for the ILS 27 approach. Yeti Airlines 7351.
Yeti Airlines 7351, contact Biratnagar Tower on 123.8.
Then VQPR.
123.8 for Yeti Airlines 7351. Good day.
and then VQGP.
Since there aren't any specific landmarks popping up on our radar, let's talk about Tamkarka Airport, which is just behind us. Tamkarka is a small but crucial airstrip serving the Khotan district in eastern Nepal. It opened in 2001 and has been a lifeline for the local communities, especially during monsoon season when roads can become impassable. The airport sits at an elevation of about 4,800 feet and is surrounded by dramatic hills. Pilots often say landing here feels like threading a needle. It's mostly used by STOL, short takeoff and landing aircraft, which are perfect for the short runway and tricky terrain.
Buddha Airliner 848, contact Rajbiraj Tower on 122.5.
122.5 for Buddha Airliner 848.
It doesn't like it, does it? I'm going to give up on that for the moment. We'll just go by headings. For the moment. I'll go clear it out again in a moment. I think you have to do them as you have to insert them in the middle. It doesn't like putting them in a sequence like that, but we're just coming over the top of the airport, so let's go and ask for permission. You can see the airport there, I think. During the next leg, we'll get it sorted out. So you can see we're just coming in. It's down alongside the river. So Tumbling Tar, we're going to go and talk to the tower.
Buddha Air 5483, contact Tumbling Tar Tower on 123.905.
123.905. That's what we're after, isn't it?
123.905 for Buddha Air 5483.
123.905, that checks out. So let's go and talk to Centre. Kathmandu Control, Starship Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo requesting touch and go at Tumbling Tar.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, cleared for touch and go Tumbling Tar. Report downwind.
Cleared for touch and go, Tumbling Tar will report downwind. Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo. So, let's pull the power back. And the RPM. And cancel the autopilot. And have a look outside. Yeah, so we have to insert the waypoints in between the beginning and the end. There's the airfield. So which way is the wind? 4 knots. So we're going to fly around it. Yeah. So orbit the airfield as we descend. Get the gear down in a bit. Oh, we're speeding up, look, because we're descending so quickly. So we'll extend downwind a bit to get some speed off. They didn't tell us the runway, did they? Runway 16. I don't think they did. No. Okay. Starship Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo downwind for touch and go runway 16 at Tumbling Tar.
Bravo Echo Kilo, continue. Report final.
Continuing, we'll report final Bravo Echo Kilo. Okay, we'll stay away from this hill.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, roger.
Okay, speed is coming down. Gear down. Look at the speed coming off.
Since we're in the skies near Tumlingtar, let me tell you about Tumlingtar itself. This small town is perched on a plateau between the Arun and Saba rivers, and it's actually the gateway for trekkers heading to Makalu Base Camp, so you could say it's the VIP lounge for mountain adventurers.
Gears down. Flaps are down. Ooh, I think I've got the power is going into beta. I didn't, and I've got the throttle slightly misconfigured. I've just noticed it.
Direct final. Cleared for the ILS runway 34 approach. Descend and maintain altitude 4500 feet until established.
Descending to 4500. Cleared for the ILS 34 approach. Buddha Air 83905.
Okay, we'll sort our route out in a moment. Let's go and have a look on the map. So we're almost going the direction we need to be going. So 133 degrees. Let's go and get the heading book sorted out then. I'm going to turn head tracking off to do this. And then we'll finally sort out the we didn't report final, did we? So busy playing with the aeroplane. Okay, so autopilot back on, so we do that down here. It's on heading mode. It's probably dropped indicated airspeed mode, hasn't it? Yeah. Let's go and have a look. Just that button there. We can obviously set the target, so it's trying to get to the target airspeed. Let's give it some more power. It's running about 94% at the moment, on 95, 96. It floats around a little bit on the torque. I don't want to over-torque the engines. If we pull the target airspeed down, then we'll start climbing, and that will avoid us slamming into that hill. And we'll climb back up towards 12,000. Okay, so let's go and sort this route out that we've been messing around with for the last few minutes. Delete. 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 So we've got VNJP in, and we've got no end to the route at the moment. So we'll put in VQGP as the next one. See, this is interesting. Look, we got add waypoints here. Okay, VQGP. So V, Q. This is one of those things that once you've done this and you've got the hang of it, it becomes obvious. So enter, and then OK, and then we end the flight plan. Oh, as that is end of flight plan. Okay, so you don't have to say end. So that's a straight line at the moment. So if we go and increase the range on this, you'll see it, look. So we're now doing a zigzag over to there. So what we need to do is say from VNGP, insert waypoint after it, and say VNTR. V N T R. Enter. OK. And then, so VNTR then goes to, and it thinks it's going straight to there, look. So from VNTR we want to go to VNCG. So after VNTR, insert waypoint after, we're going to VNCG. So V N, sorry, wrong one, V N C G, enter. Okay. Then after VNCG we're going to Paro, which is VQPR. Insert waypoint after, V Q P R P R.
Since we're flying southeast of Tumlingtar and there aren't any specific landmarks popping up, let me tell you about
And
the
then
Arun
after
River,
Parro we go on
which
to
winds its
Galifu,
way
which
through
is
this
our
region. The Arun is one of
end
Nepal's
anyway.
major rivers and actually starts way up in Tibet before carving its way through the Himalayas. It's famous among adventure seekers for its wild
So
whitewater
we are
rapids.
en route at the moment
Rafting here is not for the faint of
towards
heart. The
VNCG.
Arun Valley is also considered one of the deepest valleys in the world, and from up here, you can see how the river snakes through dramatic gorges and lush hillsides.
So how do we select that? Advanced waypoint. There we go. So if we then pull the range, select course to get there, that's interesting. So that'd be 133, won't it? 133. So if we go select course, 133. Oops. 133. It's interesting how it works, isn't it? It's very odd.
Kathmandu Control, China Southern 3552, flight level 340.
China Southern 3552, radar
So it
contact.
doesn't show you the zigzag line, it shows you the line to the next waypoint that you've chosen from. Interesting. So if we went to the next one, yeah. Okay. Anyway. So we got a we've got a comment in the live stream. Somebody who's been looking to try and get hold of one of my PDFs for the PMDG Boeing 777 could not because they have different currencies. Is there any way you can send you money? It allows PayPal. So as long as you can use PayPal, you can get the currencies for PayPal. So you don't have to use a direct currency that's, on your credit card or whatever it is, debit card. So as long as you can get PayPal, you can do it. It's one of the checkout options at Ko-fi. Okay, we're at 12,000 feet, cruising along. And if we change this to use the nav source to change it over to FMS, there we go. So according to this, we're slightly to the right of the track, and we're to the right of the track. And this will give us the distance, 30 miles to run. If we measure distance, about 29 miles, obviously by the time we went and measured it. We are whistling along towards Chandragadhi. So Chandragadhi Airport. It's interesting when we asked, I've just gone and closed one of the tabs, haven't I? Yeah. Airport navigates airspaces, there we go. When we talked to Centre, they didn't transfer us to the tower, did they? That was interesting. So Chandragadhi 122.5. But I don't know if we'll need it.
Buddha Air 1068, contact Tumlingtar Tower on 123.905.
Over to Tumlingtar Tower on 123.905. Buddha Air 1068.
So we got flight following at this altitude. We're going to drop down now to a much lower altitude. We're talking. Are we still on Kathmandu control? Yeah. Kathmandu control. Starship Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo descending to 5,000 feet. Indicated airspeed mode, and we'll pull the power back, and you'll see the airplane start dropping. Well,
At
that's
our
the
1
plan
o'clock,
anyway.
about 16 kilometers out, you can spot the Water
Oh, we can
Kingdom Park
increase
and
the
Resort.
speed,
Now, while it
can't
might
we,
look
and
like
say-
a splashy oasis from up here, it's actually one of the largest water parks in eastern Nepal. Opened in the late 2010s, it quickly became a favorite getaway for families and thrill seekers, especially during the hot season. The park is known for its twisting slides and wave pools. Legend has it, if you scream loud enough on the big slide, you can be heard all the way in Bhadrapur. It's a popular spot for school trips and weekend escapes, and if you look closely, you might even see the colorful slides snaking around the pools.
So we're descending at about 1,700 feet a minute, which is not too bad. Half the problem with this aeroplane is it is so sleek, it doesn't slow down easily. So we're going to end up circling over the top of the airfield for a while. Kathmandu control. Starship Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo requesting touch and go at Chandragadhi.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, Chandragadhi uncontrolled. Use local traffic advisory.
They didn't understand, did they? I'm going to go to the tower. I'm going to break 122500. So let's bring the range down on this to start with. Com 1, 122.5. Chandragadhi Tower, Starship Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo approaching you from the northwest, requesting touch and go.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 10, left circuits approved, report downwind each time.
Runway 10, left circuits approved, we'll report downwind. Bravo Echo Kilo. So we'll orbit round as we descend to come downwind for a left circuit into runway 10. So there's the airfield. So we can almost turn 10 when we become level with it. So what's the altitude of the airfield? Let's go and have a look. Elevation 300 feet. So as long as we get to about 1,300 feet during our descent, we'll be good. So let's go and drop this down to 1,300 just so we've got a reminder. And then we're looking to start turning in a moment to 100 degrees. So we're on heading select mode anyway. So heading select is over here. So 100 degrees we want. And then we'll turn reciprocal and go downwind and announce at that point. So we're down to 7,000 feet, still descending. We're going a little bit too quick. So let's pull the indicated airspeed back. Of course, that's going to stop us descending. What happens if we go into beta? Are we allowed to go into beta? Look at it descend. So we've effectively feathered the propellers.
Getty Airlines 9028, short of 28, ready for departure.
Getty Airlines 9028, winds calm, runway 28, cleared for takeoff.
Airlines 9028.
Okay, so we're going to reverse our direction. So we want to be going 280.
Approaching runway 10.
No, we're not.
Since there aren't any specific landmarks popping up, let me tell you about Bhadrapur itself. This town is one of the oldest municipalities in Nepal, established way back in 1962. It's famous for its tea gardens.
Do you know,
yes,
I'm going
the
to come
kind
off
that
the
makes you want
autopilot
to
and
stick
just
your
do this
pinky out
manually.
while sipping. The area is lush and green, especially during the monsoon, and you can sometimes spot the tea plantations from the air, looking like a giant patchwork quilt. Bhadrapur also played a key role in Nepal's history as a trade gateway with India, thanks to its proximity to the border.
There's the runway. Can you see it just over there?
Approaching runway 28. Caution! Caution!
Tower, Starship, Golf Juliet, Bravo, Echo, Kilo, downwind for left circuit, touch and go, runway 10.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 10, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, runway 10, Bravo, Echo, Kilo.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 10, cleared for touch and go.
Yeah, it doesn't understand the confirmation on that, does it? Tried to bring it in a bit more smoothly this time, hey? He says. It's a shame you can't see backwards over your shoulders in the Starship. Okay, so let's have a look at the flight plan. We're going to VQPR, which is Paro, aren't we? So we need to say advanced waypoint. And it doesn't understand it. Look, it's gone mad here.
Getty Airlines 9028, contact departure.
So we want a heading of 55 degrees on here. Oh, turn the head tracking off. There's our 55 degrees. Let's just level the airplane up. You can't. Oh, you can press it. It will. It has got that trick. Not all aeroplanes allow you to click the middle of the heading knob, which is obviously pushing the real thing that sets it. Should we just have a fly along for a bit, rather than playing with instruments the whole time? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this, because we're saying we're going from Chandragadhi over to Parro, and it's not drawing the track. Oh, it's because of the course. You have to program it yourself. 55. And that hasn't worked at all. And it has actually, yeah, this is getting really frustrating, isn't it? It's just not rendering it. That is really weird. So it's coming back in towards the track we want. VNCG to VQPR. Okay, I got it. It suddenly made sense. It's got this really weird hybrid navigation system where this is the line. The track line is representing your course, and then the HSI is working with a CDI that tells you where you are in relation to your chosen course. So it's almost working like radio navigation, even though you're using GPS. That's really odd. I've figured it out now, though. Okay.
At our 2 o'clock, about 6 kilometers out, you'll spot the sprawling Savin Kingdom Amusement Park. This place is a favorite among locals and visitors alike, especially families looking for a day of fun. Opened in the early 2000s, Savin Kingdom is known for its castle-themed entrance. Yes, you can pretend you're royalty for a day. The park features a mix of water rides, amusement attractions, and even a cinema, making it a one-stop shop for entertainment. From up here, you might catch a glimpse of the colorful water slides and the big Ferris wheel, which has probably seen more first dates than any other spot in Siliguri.
But yeah, it took a bit of learning, didn't it, to figure this out? So basically what you're seeing here, I'll just go through this in case you didn't see what I did. So we programmed the route in earlier by inserting the waypoints one after another. Oh, we're overspeeding, hang on. So we programmed the basic route in, but if you'll notice, if you go advance and previous waypoint, it highlights them and it colours them in on here, yeah? The track line it shows is your course, not the route on the map. So then you can play games with showing your course. So you can choose the course you want to be on in between the waypoints, just like you would with a nav radio. And then the CDI reflects your position relative to your chosen course. So the line in the middle of the HSI. Anyway, so we're going to cross over across the hills in a moment, and we're going to head off towards Paro. We ought to go back to the centre frequency. They're probably wondering where on earth we've gone. It was Kathmandu. Oh, it was Chandragadhi Tower. We were just talking. It was Kathmandu Control, wasn't it? Kathmandu Control, Starship Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo. Back with you, 10,000 feet.
Starship Golf Juliet Bravo, Echo Kilo, Kathmandu Control. Go ahead with request.
Just continuing with flight following as we continue on our route. So just reading the live stream comment about this being a difficult box to program. Once you got used to it, it's actually not too bad. It's just figuring it out. And again, I'm really rusty because I've not been in the airplane for ages, and it doesn't work like anything else. So yeah, it was fun trying to figure it out. These hills look amazing, don't they? It's kind of a weird hybrid of GPS and radio navigation. So you're kind of using the GPS, or the waypoints are essentially just being used in the same way as you would radio beacons. So for example, now we know that, we can go and put this on altitude hold, for example, for the moment. So if I select altitude hold, is it going to behave itself? Nope. But we can go nav, and it will steer and track the CDI. That's fascinating that altitude hold is not holding it. So presumably we have to go vertical speed 0 to do that. Nope. That's interesting. I'm going to take control. Oh, I haven't engaged the autopilot, have I? Numpty. Autopilot's thinking, what's he doing? So altitude hold is on. I'll just cycle it. There we go. So it will have read the current altitude and it's zeroed us out. Nav is on, so it's tracking.
Since we're flying in the foothills of the Himalayas, let me tell you about the Teesta
CDI,
River, which winds its way through this region.
So by that
Teesta
token,
is one of the most important
if we
rivers
turn
in
the
eastern
course,
India, originating from the Himalayas
airplane will
and
turn
flowing
left.
all the way to Bangladesh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's famous for its turquoise waters, which are especially striking from the air, and for carving out deep gorges and valleys. The river is a lifeline for local communities, providing water for agriculture and hydroelectric power. Adventure seekers love the Teesta for its whitewater rafting, and there's even a legend that the river was formed by the tears of a Himalayan princess who fell in love with a mortal.
Okay, while we're doing this, let's go and have a look. If we go back to the menu, display. What's the index? So that was the plan map. Menu. Index. Radar. That's obviously going to show aeroplanes in front of us. Index. Yeah, the present position map is probably the most useful thing. Display. So at 9,300 feet, do we need to be aware of, yeah, that's not going to be high enough to get through these hills to get to Parro. So we're going to need to dial in a bit of extra altitude, so let's go do that. So, did we say here we want about 15,000 by the look of it? Whoa, that was far too much. There's obviously some peaks in the cloud over there that we can't see. So if we go indicated airspeed mode and give it some power, it will start climbing. We can set the target to the speed we're doing. And we're busy climbing again. Rather rapidly, actually. 2,000 feet a minute, that's not bad going, is it? What's the transition altitude around here? Should we ask Lance? Do we know what the transition altitude is around here?
The transition altitude in this area is typically around 8,000 feet, but it's always good to check the local charts for specifics. Keep that in mind as you plan your altitude changes.
Yeah, so we stay on local barometric pressure, we don't go to standard, because it only changes at 18,000, same as the US. Okay, so we can see 30 miles to run until we get to our destination, which is in the hills. Hopefully we won't have any encounters with hillsides along the way. There's a few other aeroplanes around, not many though. Frequency, just check 126.5 on COM1, which is Kathmandu control still. And let's go check what the frequency is for Paro. So if we go show information.
Since there aren't any specific landmarks popping up, let me tell you about the town of Mangan, which is the district headquarters of North Sikkim. Mangan is often called the gateway to the Himalayas because it's the starting point for expeditions heading towards some of the highest peaks
line
in
of
India,
hills.
like
This is the ones where
Kanchenjunga.
climbing's a
The
clear.
town itself sits at an elevation of about 4,000 feet and is surrounded by lush forests and dramatic mountain scenery, perfect for anyone who loves jaw-dropping views. Mangan is also famous for its annual music festival, where local bands and artists gather to perform against a backdrop of snow-capped peaks.
It's a nice looking aeroplane, isn't it? I think the intention was that this was going to replace the King Air, and then nobody bought it. So they only made, I think, a very small number of them. Okay, coming up towards 15,000 feet. We're looking good. So it should switch to altitude hold automatically when it gets to 15,000. To be honest, we can fly manually. Half the reason I'm playing with the autopilot is just to figure it out along the way. There isn't a radio beacon down in Parro. There's one over here, look, 108.4. Should we go and play with it? So I'll turn. I just want to see the ME come alive over here. So let's go and put in 108.4. There it goes. Very cool. So we'll come in over the top and talk to Parro, shall we? I'm going to not talk to control this time. I'm going to go straight for Parro. So we want 1203 on COM1. Parro Tower, Starship, Golf Juliet, Bravo Echo Kilo, about 12 miles to your southwest, requesting touch and go.
Starship, Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 33, left circuits approved, report downwind each time.
Runway 33, left circuits approved, will report downwind each time, Bravo Echo Kilo. So we'll fly overhead and do the same again, descending as we turn, and then report on our way downwind. So flying 150 degrees at that point. It's probably the easiest way, isn't it? And we're going to have eyes in the back of our head doing it, because you can see we're just clearing these peaks here, and then we should see down into the valley down there, the airport. So let's clear the autopilot. So we're almost perpendicular to the airport at the moment. And there it is, look, right in front of us. So we'll, to keep it in sight, we'll turn slightly right. We're descending already. So turn the RPM down. Keeping an eye on the indicated airspeed so we don't descend too quickly. We could always side slip as well, of course, which I'm just doing.
Since there are no specific points of interest right now,
See an aeroplane
let me
leaving.
tell you about Paro itself.
Or just
Paro
landing.
is famous for being home to Bhutan's only international airport, which is often called one of the most challenging airports in the world. Only a handful of pilots are certified to land here because of the dramatic Himalayan terrain and the sharp turns required on approach. The town of Paro is also known for its beautiful valley, dotted with traditional Bhutanese houses and ancient monasteries.
Okay. So we're going to fly along this hillside over here. And attempt a touch and go at Parro.
Royal Bhutan 4117, request push and start. Roger, pushback approved. Royal Bhutan 4117.
Just using the rudders to skid us around the corner and lose some height. So we'll clear this ridge, descend, yeah, we'll be fine, look. So we'll fly over here, go downwind, turn around and come back in. Just need to clear this ridge first. And then if I keep the right nose up, or sorry, nose to the right to scrub some speed off. So we'll side slip it down. Tower, Starship, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, downwind for touch and go, runway 33.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 33, cleared, touch and go. Runway 33, taxi our discretion, Royal Bhutan 4117.
Our main issue now is just getting the speed off.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 33, cleared for touch and go.
Cleared for touch and go, runway 33, Starship, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo. I'm going to pull all the tricks out now. We're going beta on the propellers as well. It doesn't like it, does it?
Approaching runway 33.
We're just about going to do it. We might have to be quite slow and or low and fast over the runway. What's he doing there? We can't do this. Maybe we can. That's a pretty airport, isn't it? The airliner coming up behind us. I think somehow he's going to be a bit faster than us. He's going to come past us in a moment. If I hold a straight line, we might see him come past us. He's got a fair bit more power than we've got. Where's he going? He's going to go into the hillside. That was closer than it looked, probably. Oh my word, how did he get away with that? Is he going to clear that hill? Nope. Kaboom. That's the AI's gone wrong, hasn't it? Oh, that's a shame. I'll have to report that one to Say Intentions. Okay, so next leg we can go advanced waypoint, and that goes to our destination. We need to change the course to match the actual direction of the route, so 119 degrees. So I'll turn head tracking off so I can do this neatly. Oops. Okay, so now we've got our trek on the map. So we know we've got 64 miles to run. Let's get the RPM and the power sorted out. We're within 1,000 feet of our target altitude. We need to go a little bit higher than this, actually.
Starship Bravo Echo
16,500 feet.
Touch and go.
We don't want to do that anymore. Leaving your airspace, Bravo Echo Kilo. So we'll go back to Kathmandu Control, 126.5.
Bravo Echo Kilo, roger, leaving airspace.
So let's go back to Com1 126.50. Kathmandu Control, Starship, Golf Juliet Bravo, Echo Kilo with you, climbing to 16,500 feet.
Starship Golf Juliet Bravo, Echo Kilo, Kathmandu Control, climb altitude 16500 feet.
Climbing 16500 feet, Starship Bravo, Echo Kilo.
At our 10 o'clock, about 22 kilometers out, you can spot the Changlimathang Stadium and archery ground. This isn't just any sports field, it's a piece of Bhutanese history. The original Changlimathang ground was the site of a major battle in 1885 that helped unify Bhutan under one ruler. Today it's famous for being the national stadium where you'll see everything from football matches to Bhutan's national obsession, archery. Archery here isn't just a sport, it's a full-on festival, complete with singing, dancing, and some seriously impressive long-distance shots.
47 miles to run. We may as well hug the valleys on the way. Whoa, what happened then? Oh, we got caught by the wind coming over the top of the... Yeah, the wind coming off the top of that hill caught us there and tried to turn the aeroplane. Or tried to flip the aeroplane, I should say. It's easily done with large hillsides and the air mass moving over them. Let's have a look. I'm going to go and have a look at the map to see what's happening with this valley. So, yeah, it runs out eventually, but it should take us most of the way actually. But we're going for Galifu though, aren't we? So let's climb back out 16,000 like we were doing. So we'll go and program the airplane to help us do that. Get ourselves onto heading mode and autopilot on, and indicated airspeed mode for climbing. 16,500 is the target. It's holding about 1,500 feet a minute. That's good. And we'll give it some more power and some more RPM. Put it into the green area. It's the most efficient RPM for the propeller design, I guess. Do we need to be this height anymore? No, we can hold. Altitude hold. Taking the power back a bit. Let's bring the RPM back up into the green. We're on a intercept course with the course we want. We're heading more or less directly for Galifu, which is fine. So we could start descending actually. Let's go and bring ourselves down to... What's the altitude of the airport? Let's go and find out. 900 feet. So we want to come down initially. Well, I'm just looking at this ridge out here. Maybe we don't. Maybe we hold on here for a few minutes. That's the ridge. So we need to be at least 10,000 feet. So we'll drop to 10.
Since there are no specific points of interest right now,
10,500
let me tell
for
you about the town of
insurance.
Samdrup which is the closest major settlement in this
Okay,
region of
indicate
Bhutan.
airspeed.
Samdrup is known as the gateway to eastern Bhutan and has been a key trading post for centuries, connecting Bhutan with the Indian state of Assam. The town grew in importance during the 20th century as road networks expanded, making it a hub for commerce and travel. It's famous for its bustling border market, where you can find everything from Bhutanese handicrafts to Indian spices. The area around Samdrup is also lush and green, thanks to the monsoon rains, and it's surrounded by scenic hills that make for a beautiful aerial view.
Okay, we're 1,000 feet away from our target altitude. 17 miles to run. We could switch the tower. Well, should we go and terminate flight following first? So we've been talking to Kathmandu Control, haven't we? Kathmandu Control, Starship, Golf Juliet Bravo, Echo Kilo, terminating flight following.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, flight following terminated.
So we want to go back to
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, radar contact 17 west of Gelephu at 10500 feet. Galifu QNH 1015.
Galifu. That's gone a bit wrong, hasn't it? Because we're not tuned into their radio. Oh, I've done it again. Put the comm back. 122950 we want.
Royal Bhutan 809er 5.
Galifu. Galifu Tower, Starship, Golf Juliet Bravo, Echo Kilo, approaching from your west, requesting full stop landing.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, wind 050 at 5, runway 11, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, runway 11, Starship, Golf Juliet Bravo, Echo Kilo. So we'll need to obviously descend first. We can't just go barreling in from this altitude. So we'll take that off. And there's the airfield directly in front of us. Now, can we bring it in from here? Let's try it. Or, no, it would be more fun to orbit the airfield, wouldn't it? So we actually get to look at it. So I'm just moderating our descent, watching the airspeed meter as to how much we can get away with descending. Obviously we could play games with side slipping. I certainly need to configure the throttle properly. I'm just playing with it to see at what point it goes into beta. It doesn't when you're at speed. There it goes. Interesting. So should we actually put the lights on properly this time? So we'll do an orbit all the way around the airfield and come in again. Down.
Approaching runway 29. Caution! Caution! Approaching runway 11.
Wonder where the shortest grass is to go and park. Down the end by the look of it.
Starship Bravo Echo Kilo, taxi to stand parking 3 at your discretion. Stay on this frequency.
Taxiing to stand parking 3 will stay on this frequency. Starship Bravo Echo Kilo. I think we need to go down the other end. There's nowhere modelled, is there? So we'll just pull off to a nice, or a fairly well cut piece of grass.
Approaching runway 11.
Okay, so we need to go and shut the airplane down. Ah! Okay, so if we press Shift and C, we can go and have a look around. Airplane's still in one piece. One careful owner. quiet here, isn't it? Very, very quiet. Do you think that was the proper parking place over there? I think it probably was, wasn't it? If we press Shift and X, no, Shift C, Shift X, and then I think that might have been, that looks like an old runway though, doesn't it? An old grass strip runway. There's a van and a fuel filling station. Yeah, this is the parking area here. Look, it's been mowed. So I'm not parked in the right place. Oh well, we were not going to worry too much. I didn't want such a long walk back to the control tower. There we go. Hopefully you enjoyed that today. So that was the Starship in Flight Sim 2024 from Black Square. And we flew from, let's pull it up on the map so you can see, Janakpur over to Tumlingtar, down to Chandragadhi, over to Paro, and over then to Galifu. We had all sorts of challenges learning the navigation system, but we got there in the end. It just discovered it was a little bit more manual than we thought it was going to be, but that's just rustiness with the aeroplane. If you flew it regularly, it'd be second nature, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.